What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Friday. It's Happy Friday here at Wealth Our Way. This is your boy, Charles Tank Harris, CEO, founder of the financial planning firm Wealth Our Way. It is 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday, September the 18th, 2020. Actually, I'm lying. It's a minute early because you know I like to get on early just in case I have any drama with the technology. So today I am in Atlanta, Georgia, once again in a hotel room. I'm hoping that the lighting is good. I get a lot of critique from the women folk. The women folk are very particular about your appearance. They want to make sure that people can see you right, your hair is right. So I went and got a haircut this morning. My favorite barber down here in the A, my boy Detroit. It's crazy, right? I'm from Philly, in Atlanta, getting a haircut from somebody named Detroit. But in any event, ready for war, ready to get on this thing and talk to you guys today about debt reduction. We are trying to build a financial life and take a financial journey to success. What's up, Big G? Take a financial journey to success, get to that number that we all want to get to in retirement, retire at an age we all feel comfortable, have the rest of us to enjoy the fruits of our hard labor. What's up, Ariane? And the best way to get there is through, as we talked about, my man Rick is in the house, okay? So the best way to get there is to increase your net worth, and you increase your net worth by growing your assets and minimizing your liabilities. One of the biggest that the majority of Americans have after student loan debt for those who went to college is credit card debt. Credit card debt is doubly punishing because you have not only the higher interest rates on the revolving credit card, you also have a system that encourages you to make the minimum payment. And thank you, boy. I appreciate you, man. I'm fighting through. You know I'm gonna be here for my people. So, with credit cards being set up the way they are and encouraging people to pay the minimum payments that are due, you end up having the purchase that you made, the impatience tax for that premature purchase, and I call consumer interest on credit cards the impatience tax. You have that compounding on the outstanding balance, but more importantly, you have the interest growing on the interest. Benjamin Franklin once said that one of the greatest gifts that we have on this earth as far as building wealth is concerned is compounding, Big Joe. And that's a true statement. When it comes to growing assets, growing money, there are very few things that help us better than interest of interest. However, every sword has a double edge, and the double-edged sword of compound interest is on debt as well. So when you make that purchase of that dishwasher or microwave or 80-inch TV or the Jordans or the trip to Norwegian Cruise Line, whatever you chose to do that you put on a credit card, when you don't pay that balance in full and it starts to accumulate this high interest rate, 9.9%, 12.9%, 14.9%. I've seen credit cards 26.9%. When you start accumulating, I apologize for the extra sweat, but your boy is fresh out the shower, trying to wash the haircut off, and makes me sweat when I got the shower. I just share a lot, so it's not just fun. So when you have that rate, that 24.99%, that 19.99% growing on that balance, it gets you to a point where you get into a hole that you can never get out. Credit card debt is one of those things that is very important in our finances, because I firmly believe that the way to grow your net worth is through access to capital that you can use for real estate, you can use to grow a business. There are a lot of reasons why access to capital, which is, i.e., debt, is good for you. Unfortunately, the first introduction most of us get to debt is credit cards or our student loans, and that debt is not very good for us. Now, student loan debt is a necessary evil because we want to graduate from college and get these higher paying jobs or get the knowledge to become entrepreneurs, and that's all great. But the crippling amount of finance charges that are on these loans, making it virtually impossible to get back to zero. So I'm going to give you some tips and pointers today on how to deal with credit card debt. There are two major schools of thought on how to pay it down. And because I'm not, a hater or a selfish person and want to try and take credit for everything, I'm going to name two people who work in my field, Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, They have probably the biggest following when it comes to personal finance. And fortunately, for the sake of this discussion, they have two different schools of thought on how to pay down credit card debt. So I'm going to share with you both of their schools of thought and tell you my thoughts on it. And then what always is key, what I will always hammer home to you, the only right way to do something is the way that you do it. I've learned that a long, long time ago, especially as I've always come on here and talk to you about my struggles with getting weight off of me. I have heard all of the right ways to do something exercise-wise, diet-wise. The only one that works is the one that I'm going to actually do when I get up in the morning. So it's the same thing with finances. The only plan that works is the one that you're going to do. I can give you the best laid plan. If you're not going to do it, doesn't matter. So let's talk about these two different schools of thought. Dave Ramsey believes in taking your lowest outstanding balance and paying that credit card off first. Dave Ramsey does not concern himself with the actual cost of the interest that you're paying. His approach is more of a psychological approach. You have 5 credit cards. The balances range from $1,400 to $8,000. His thing is pay off the dollar one first. Take every extra amount of cash that you get, redo your budget, put a category in your budget for debt reduction, and hammer home that $1,400 credit card. Once you pay that credit card off, you start with the next lowest balance, and you already have as a capital kick-in what you were used to paying on the $1,400 credit card. So now it's that snowball effect of you're paying more money on the next lowest amount because you don't have the lowest amount to pay off anymore. The psychological benefit of this, per Dave Ramsey and per other financial professionals, are the sense of accomplishment that comes from paying off a card when you knock it out. Also, please do not start utilizing the card again. Pay the card off, put it to the side. If you start to see that progress, the thought process is it'll make you more focused as you continue to go up on the balances, paying off the next credit card. So that's the school of thought there. Susie Orman's school of thought, and I hate to endorse something that Susie Orman thinks, but I'm more in her camp because I am a cost guy. I'm the type of person who wants to make sure, as my acronym, I want to make sure I'm making the best use of a dollar. To me, the best use of a dollar is paying off that which is most expensive first. So Susie Orman says, look at all your credit cards. Take the one that has the highest annual percentage rate, and that is the one you start beating down first. If you start doing that first, when you eventually have paid down all of your credit card debt, it will have cost you the least amount of money to do it because you would have been paying the most expensive first, and as a result, your interest carry over the time frame would be less. Who is right and who is wrong? Neither person. Like I said, the right or wrong is determined by which one you would like to stick with. In my heart, for Charles Tank Harris, the Orman mindset, because I want to pay as little interest as possible. So, once again, I'm a sharer of personal information. I was counting cards, playing blackjack in my heydays. I had ended up getting audited. Had over $1.6 million of income added to my tax returns from 2010 through 12. Went through a long, protracted audit. Came out the audit actually Teflon, beat the case. Problem was, even in my Teflonness, I did have a couple of my deductions and exemptions removed based on these newer high income levels. Even though it was shown that I paid the proper tax, the deductions weren't right. So I came out of the IRS audit with a balance, a much smaller balance than they wanted me to have, but a balance nonetheless. The debt on that audit, I was prepared to pay the day they gave it to me, so I started to pay it in installments. Well, the interest on IRS debt is close to 9%, which is to me criminal, but we won't get into that. But it's close to 9%. It's like 0.5% a month, which is 6% a year, and then there's another little calculation that they make. That was the highest percent debt that I have because I don't have any credit card debt. Credit cards like charge cards, and there's a difference. So American Express traditionally is a charge card. What that means is you charge something on it, you have 30 days to pay it off. If you pay it off in 30 days, there is no interest. You just charge something, you floated money for 30 days. As we start to grow our net worth, as those of you who follow me and you get your net worth together, you will see the importance of that. When you are able to charge things and keep liquidity invested or in its savings place for the 30 days, borrow American Express's money and then give it back to them 30 days later interest free, you'll see the benefit of that. Right now, the majority of us are charging things, not having the money to pay it back in 30 days, and being charged the interest rate. So for me, when I looked at my IRS debt, I knew it was going to take me several months to pay it down. I looked at the other interest accounts that I had, and there weren't any. So I started paying that debt down very, very aggressively. Had I had a credit card, what if my credit card with the lowest interest rate has the highest balance? And that is normally the way it goes, bro. Ariane, that's normally the way it goes. So that's rub between the two strategies of Suze Orman and Dave Ramsey is normally somebody will have a $500 balance on their credit card that's 29.99% and have a $3,000 balance on their credit card that's 9%. So if you're following Suze Orman, the Dave Ramsey and Suze Orman case, would they be the same? Because Suze Orman wants you to pay the one with the 20-some percent, and Dave Ramsey wants you to pay the one with the lowest balance. So in reality, you would be doing both by attacking that $500 balance on your 24.99% credit card, and then attacking the next highest interest rate down if you're using the Suze Orman method, or attacking the next highest balance down if you're doing Dave Ramsey. So in your case, Ariane, it's the same thing. You're in good shape. Your balance, normally people's is the other way, and I read yours too quick. Normally people have the lowest balance credit card on the lowest rate and the highest on the highest rate, the highest balance. So if they're using Suze Orman's paying the highest rate, that balance will take longer to pay down because it's the highest balance. If they're using Dave Ramsey and paying the lowest balance, they're not getting as much gain interest-wise because of the lowest interest rate. So in your case, you are blessed. You are in the right category. You have the highest interest rate on your lowest balance. You're going to pay that off first and then just keep coming down the line. So after, thank goodness, yeah, thank God, man. Credit cards they're both a gift and a curse. So as we continue growing and talking about credit in general, how to build your credit score up, you build your credit score up by having the 3 lanes of credit open: revolving credit, which is credit card debt, and which is car notes and other personal loans, and mortgage credit, which of course is on a home or a rental property. The counterintuitive nature of credit is that your credit score goes up with the more credit you have that you're not using. So I'll repeat that. They want to see you have a great amount of credit outstanding, a very small portion of it. Most people think, well, I don't have a lot of credit, so my credit score should be high. I'm not using or abusing credit. If you don't have a lot of credit, that keeps your score low, because in the mindset of a lender, their mindset is, we don't know what he's going to do or she's going to do when she has credit, because we don't have a history of them having credit. Conversely, if you have a lot of credit and you use a lot of it, they already know, hey, this person's irresponsible. We give them a $10,000 credit card, they're going to charge $9,300 all from the door. But the person they want to see is the person that has 6 credit cards with an average credit limit of $5,000 each, so they have $30,000 of credit, and spread across the $30,000 of credit, maybe they're using $5,000 of it, because of 30,000, 30% is the maximum you should be utilizing on your credit. So 30% of 30,000 is $9,000. If they see you using 5,000 of the 9,000, you're using roughly, what's that, 15%, 20% of the amount that they have access to. And as a result, you're not abusing your credit. So at the end of the day, in order for you to start building your credit, you do have to take out credit cards. You do mortgages. You do have to have installment loans from car notes. However, there's an intelligent way to do it. And the best way to do it is to keep your balances low. I try to take each credit card that I have and I assign one auto charge to it. So one credit card has my Audible account. One credit card I use for banking. I use for my Verizon phone bill. And when the bill comes, I pay it off. So I have it's a lot of automation going on, but at the end of the day, it keeps everything the way it's supposed to be. I get charged automatically for whatever bill it is, and then my bank account comes back 7 days later and pays the charge. So my credit card companies always see me using my card, always see me keeping my balance low, always see me making my payment. It raises my score up. So that's what I have for you guys today. Friday, I actually kept it to 15 minutes today, so I'm proud of myself. Just so you guys know who have been asking, I appreciate you guys checking in. My brother is still a little iffy. He's not out the woods yet, but we got a good report yesterday. I'm waiting to hear back today to see how he's doing. I appreciate everybody who's kept me in their prayers and kept my brother in their prayers. I want you guys to have a great weekend. We're going to start a new series on Monday. I'm taking all callers and comers over the weekend with ideas as to what the 5-part series will be for next week. I want you guys to visit the website, www.wealthourway.com. We are putting our financial literacy curriculum up in 2 weeks. Every course will have a certificate that you get at the end that shows you how well you went through and learned stuff. And there's all you guys can sign up for. If you put your contact information anywhere on the website, you'll start to get both our monthly email and our newsletter that we're going to start sending out after the launch on October 14th. So I appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. Continue to be financially mindful. Don't go out spendthrifting this weekend. And we'll be right back at it Monday at 12:30.